Bill Ayton is an XR artist, specializing in large-scale AR public art and VR environments, integrating 2D paintings and drawing. He teaches 3D digital art as an artist in residence at ASU. And he studied at Edinburgh, I think I'm saying that right, College of Art, and has shown art at the UN in New York City and Geneva, and in private and public spaces in Europe, the US, Canada, and beyond.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me, Piero, etc., and everybody. Yes, okay. So I'm Bill Ayton. Full disclosure, my wife is Diana Ayton-Schenker, who typed a question earlier, which is good and bad, because it's good because things like this, but also she drags me into things. So that's anyway. I should share screen. I should share screen probably. Share. Oh yeah, that's Unity. Hey, I'll get back to that. Here we go. Yes, this is Mike. Can you see that? Can you hear me? Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, me, Bill William T. Ayton. The title was Interplanetary VR Sustainable Futures, which is the title of one of the things we showed, one of the artworks we showed at Ars Electronica in Linz. It was my first time in Linz, so first time to Ars Electronica. So it was kind of, I know some of you, Krista, you live in Linz, I think, or you work in Linz. So this won't be too exciting for you, but for me, it was quite exciting. I'd never been to Austria or Linz or Ars Electronica before. So that was cool. That's the Ars Electronica building there, and it changes color from time to time, which is kind of cool. So I did my text. I tried to match the color. So I thought that kind of, I'd just like to spend a moment looking at my intro slide because I'm quite proud of it. Okay, enough of that. So yes, postcards from Linz. I have some photos I took in Linz at the end. So if I run out of time, we'll just skip those. Can someone tell me if I'm running out of time? Because I don't want to be that guy who goes on and on and on.
Sure.
Just yell at me or something. Okay, about the artist, me. Yeah, I've always, as far as I can remember, which is quite a long time, I've been an artist doing stuff. I did study at Edinburgh College of Art in Scotland. I was born in the north of England, so yeah, I went to Edinburgh College of Art, did drawing and painting, fine arts. I lived and worked in the UK, Spain, France, and now the US. I'm in upstate New York right now, where it's covered in snow and it's very cold. So California is probably much better. France, maybe not. Okay, I've been in many exhibitions, been involved in other artistic projects. Fun fact, I had a drawing on the op-ed page of the New York Times in 2001. I think it was August 6th, if anybody wants to check on it. It was a Hiroshima piece. So I tend to deal in light, fluffy, socially aware kind of things, and mythology and the human condition. My first, on the right there is my first major XR piece was in 2019 in Union Square, New York City. I did a 100-foot AR Tower of Babel called New Babel. It was for the 100th anniversary of the New School, and we did it with the XR Center, or the, what were they called? I'm blanking on the name of the X Reality Center. It's under my Zoom thing. So in fact, that's my paintings on I sort of came up with the idea and did the painting. Somebody else executed the 3D model and the Unity stuff, which I can now do myself. So having done that, I thought I should probably learn how to do that. So I went ahead and did it, and now I teach it at Arizona State University. So that's been good. I've been tinkering with digital art for about 30 years now. Back in 1992, I did a series of 3D studio anime. I did a series of paintings on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in the early 90s. And for losing voice. We did an exhibit at Seville Expo 92 of the paintings, and I also did 3D studio animations, which we put on a video loop. So over the years, I've been tinkering. The last few years, I've gotten more involved in 3D, digital, XR, AR, VR, etc. So this was done in Unity with augmented reality using GPS to locate the tower in Union Square. Okay, I teach XR and 3D at Arizona State University. Okay, Linz is, for those of you who don't know, Linz is the capital of Upper Austria, and there's a map I stole from Wikipedia. I did the dot and the arrow. I think they're in about the right place. Krista, does that look correct to you? She's nodding. Okay, good. It's 30 miles south of the Czech border, and the population, etc. It was apparently in 2009 is the European capital of culture, and also, of course, Ars Electronica. And the third largest city after Vienna and Graz. How do you pronounce that? Okay, good. Linz, Ars Electronica. I'm probably speaking to the converted here, but it's Austrian Cultural Education and Scientific Institute, active in the field of new media art, founded in 1979 in Linz. The Ars Electronica Center, which is that building. Oops, went to the wrong slide. Which houses the Museum of the Future in the city of Linz. Focuses on the interlinkages between art, technology, and society. And the annual festival is Ars Electronica. Okay, and okay, so here's what we did there. The Interplanetary VR Sustainable Futures. I created it with some students. Anyway, I'll read this. This is a project we put together with ASU's Interplanetary Initiative. Their main thing is sending a probe to the asteroid Psyche in a couple of years with NASA. So they do a lot of space stuff. So in connection with them and some of their artists and Diana's connections at Leonardo, we put together a VR exhibition. It combines the 17 UN SDGs Sustainable Development Goals with space art projects, loosely speaking, to make a link between Earth's sustainability and space exploration. I built the VR environment in Unity with objects created in Blender. I teach Unity and Blender at ASU in the AME Arts Media Engineering School and the Art School. It consists of a VR hub or lobby with 17 spheres, which are portals to individual large spheres, which are rooms containing an artwork piece, which usually a video or a sculpture, plus an information board and an exit sphere that leads back to the lobby. I'll show you how it works in a second. I created the exhibit with help from a couple of ASU students at Meteor Studio at ASU, where I'm the visiting artist. This is the catalog from Ars Electronica. It was the Oakland Tempe garden. All the exhibitions were called gardens. And we were the Oakland Tempe garden. So we presented 3 projects. Did the War Room, which was from 2004. I did an anti-war painting. It was actually a series of 4 paintings that surround the viewer, which we did in New York City and a couple of other places. And so I remediated it in VR. The original one was black and white, which was kind of a homage to Guernica. This one was for the Ukraine, the invasion of the Ukraine. So it's in a different color scheme. And it's sculpted in VR, which I made with my daughter, Lizzie. She helped, and a student at ASU. So together we created that. There was also the turnaround cards, which was from ASU, which were a series of cards and a website with ideas from young people around the world to help with climate change. And finally, the Interplanetary at the bottom there, Interplanetary VR Sustainable Futures, which was an interactive gallery, a VR gallery with 16 or more artists from various places, the US and Europe, etc. Here's the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And the logo, here's my logo pin, I don't know if you can see that I got in UNESCO in Paris in the summer. So they're all good. There are 17. I think we're halfway through the period of the SDGs. They're all good things like quality education, number 4, or zero hunger, number 2, reduced inequalities, etc. So they're all good things to help the world, actually, the human race, survive on the planet, which is a bit problematic right now. Here's a list of the artists and partners. Leonardo Isas wishes to thank our partners, Ars Electronica. We also showed it in Esperanzeta in Barcelona in the summer in connection with Isaiah, ASU Interplanetary Initiative, and Meteor Studio at ASU. So the list of artists is by numerical by the rooms that were shown in the exhibit. Ian Winters, Ellen K. Levy, Annette S. Lee, Ryan Powell, Bettina Forget, Sarah Rosalina, Patricia Olenek, Ranger Liu, Victoria Vesna, me, Meredith Tromble, Adam Hogan, and Laura Staten, and the Beyond Earth Collective, which is Elena Sotorakis, Yoko Shimizu, and Richelle Gribble. And thanks to Robert Lekamwa from ASU. Sarah Kane was a student, Eric Stribling from the Interplanetary, and Madison Macias, and Mark Galvez was from Barcelona. So it was quite a collection of people involved in putting this together. I mostly glued it together in Unity and Blender, and there's a couple of my pieces in there too. In fact, I've got a list. Here's, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but there's the list of who did what and which room of the 17 rooms they were in. So yeah, for example, Victoria Vesna's here in, she's in LA, I think. You guys are in San Francisco, or some of you. So yes, there's a screenshot of Unity with the main lobby area. So you can see the logo, the SDGs logos in the middle. There are 17 little spheres inside this big sphere. And the idea is when you approach one of the little spheres, it lights up and there's something in it. And the text of the SDG appears on top. I can show you. In fact, here's the actual thing. I pulled up Unity. And if I don't crash the computer, it should work. So this is the lobby. I'm just going to click play and hope this works. It'll take a few seconds to load. Okay, and yes, I'm in. And so so you'd walk around. That's the logo. Each when you approach the little spheres, the text pops up, it lights up and shows what the contents of the room are. So I'm just going to go into room 10, which is the Victoria Vesna, I think, if I can find it. Yeah, just to give you, I'm just going to do this for a few seconds. Goal 10, reduced inequality, alien stardust. Okay, there we are. So I'm in the room. There's an information screen about the artwork, about the artist, the SDG number, and then there's the video. With I don't know if you can hear the sound coming through. There's some of these have sound. Which I think is in Russian or something in this case. Okay. Anyway, and you could look out the window at space, and then I'm back, and then I could go in. So there's 17 rooms you can explore as much or as little as you want. Mostly they're videos. Some are 3D objects, etc. So it's quite a technical challenge pulling all that together. So yeah, so that's the lobby area. That's showing one of this is Sarah Rosalina, room 6, above below. That was about water. SDG 6 is clean water and sanitation. So we connected ideas of water from glaciers on Mars with the idea of water on Earth. So some of the connections were pretty strong and obvious, some were less, some were more tentative. But here we have, there are images of tapestries depicting watering glaciers on Mars, and there's a rotating ceramic sculpture in the middle of the room. So that's that one. Or that was Victoria Vesna, Alien Stardust, the video playing. Also, for example, the Beyond Earth Collective, Room 14, Living Light, that was 14 was Life Below Water, and 10 was Reduced Inequalities. Okay, so how we did the exhibit in Ars Electronica, we had 3 headsets, 3 Oculus, or it's now called Meta Quest 2 headsets. I had them attached to chargers the whole time because the batteries would tend to run down. And then we'd be in the embarrassing situation of having dead headsets, which nobody wants that. So I pretty much, I bought the long cables, the 2 meter, whatever it is, cables. Pro tip, if you're going to use headsets, probably keep them connected to chargers. And also we had a 55-inch TV looping a pre-recorded walkthrough video that I recorded in Unity with Unity Recorder. If anybody knows Unity very well, you can record a walkthrough.
Bill, you have about 5 or so more minutes left, okay?
Okay, great, thank you. Thanks for the heads up. I'll try and speed it up a bit. We had a simple cleaning protocol for COVID with wipes and things. Hundreds of people came through because Ars Electronica attracts thousands of visitors. And one thing that surprised me was that for many people, this was the first time using a VR headset. And technical note, our exhibit was in the Science Park at Johannes Kepler University in Building 4, if anybody knows where that is. We weren't in the, I think all of Ars Electronica was pretty much in Johannes Kepler University. The Ars Electronica building had like special events. I didn't actually manage to get to the Ars Electronica building, so I'll have to go back. Some takeaways: if it can go wrong, it will go wrong, as we all know. But we were lucky in Linz that we had very few problems, because in Barcelona in the summer we had more problems, so we fixed them there, and which was less of a big deal than Ars Electronica. It's a good idea to have pre-recorded content because of possible errors, and also if you've got something running on a screen, it attracts people in. If people are wearing headsets, nobody knows what's happening. Always have multiple backups: thumb drives, portable solid-state drives, the cloud, several just in case. Pro tip: some festival visitors back away if you make eye contact. They're kind of like squirrels, so you have to be careful. You can scare them, apparently. I can scare them in some cases. Also, a thing we found, there was some at the hotel where we were staying, there was some scary looking guys sitting in chairs by the elevators that we couldn't figure out why they were there. We later learned that the president of Upper Austria was staying in the hotel, and they were his bodyguards, apparently. Laurie Anderson was also there, but I don't think she had bodyguards, which there's no justice in the world. And now some photos to quickly finish up. This was on the plane. I thought it as a good introduction. This was, I think, Austrian Airways, Air Austria. The Uncanny Valley safety presentation, I thought was amusing. They had these 3D animated characters who look kind of disturbing. Anyway, whipping through, there's Linz, the Danube, the blue Danube, the mighty Danube. I believe that's a boat. That's like a dinner cruise boat on the Danube, the big boat there. We've got, this is downtown Linz, the main square. It's very, very attractive. We've got this was a shot from the installation. Welcome to Planet B. That's Ellen K. Levy's piece on the screen on the right, Crying Astronaut. Here we have a couple of festival goers. That's actually, she's in the audience. Like, Christiana, are you there? That's Chris. On the left is Christiana Kazaku. On the right is some old British guy trying to figure out how to use it. That's me. That's me on the right. These are our Serbian friends from the next booth. Miloš on the right. I can't remember the other guy's name. They were very nice. Here's strategies of culturing, featuring on the panel there, second from the left, Diana Ayton-Schenker. Another proud moment for the husband. Here's some foliage of Linz. There's a car outside Ars Electronica covered in plants. There's another one at Johannes Kepler. I think it's some guy. I'm not sure what the deal is with the car, but it's full of plants. And the leaf on the right was one of the exhibits at Ars Electronica. I think it was extracting minerals from the soil, and they were monitoring it. Here we've got on the left, JKU, Johannes Kepler University Science Park. On the right is Ars Electronica Center, not lit up. Here's a couple of things. These were just me wandering around Ars Electronica. I can't remember what the thing on the left is, and I'm not sure what the thing on the right is. There was an outside sound park. I think the one on the right was from that. And there's Laurie Anderson on stage. Did songs for Amelia Earhart that she's been working on for a long time. She also got an award, Visionary Pioneer of Media Art 2022. So I actually got to meet her briefly and say hi, very briefly, which is cool because she's good. I bought her album. I got some of her albums. And thank you. That's it. That's all I got. Did we keep it? Do we keep it in time? Tammy, are you talking?
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. I
Good.
really appreciate it. And
All right, good.
are there any questions for Bill?
Any questions for Bill, please? Don't be shy now. Got nothing.
Okay.
I would have a question.
Okay.
Krista. Yes.
No, it's
Okay.
Anik.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
how to ask a question from the Q and A portion. Yeah, the question is, how do you consider your system as a way to organize exhibitions and or maybe online exhibition, or what is the status you give to this display?
How did I come up with a concept and execute?
No, do you consider it to be an artwork in itself or to be an exhibition? Do you consider yourself in this case more of a curator? Do you see this display to be more shared with other curators that would include a different selection of artworks?
There's a bunch of questions there. I wasn't really the curator. Diana and other people curated it more than I did. I just I designed and executed it. And there's a couple of my pieces in there. The idea is to like develop this further as like a template that people can put their own artwork and do their own exhibitions, perhaps, if we take it any further. Does that answer the question?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Great. Thanks.
Okay.
Anybody? Is that something in the Q&A, or is that just how is
Yeah.
Diana Ayton Schenker says, how is your XR media work changing your painting and vice versa? Well, I'm in constant evolution, Diana. So who can say? It's early. I've only really been doing this for 3 or 4 years now as the majority of my work. So it remains to be seen, but it seems to be, they seem to be intertwined quite well. Thank you, Diana.
Krista, do you have a question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Bill, for your nice presentation. I was
Okay.
also maybe similar to the question that Anik had. How did you curate those 17 worlds or 17, rooms?
Rooms. I didn't really curate them as much as just assemble them. So it was from artists associated with the Interplanetary initiative. They have a large collection of artwork. And Diana also pulled in some Leonardo affiliated artists for this. It was all done, I mean, it was done quite quickly, I think. So to be in time for Esperanzetta and then for Ars Electronica. So.
And will you continue working on it, or will you update it sometimes, or show it again, or improve it? Or is there some kind of, experience that you made in Ars Electronica where you would say like, oh, I'm going to change something, or I'm going to make it different in the future?
Yes, basically. Yeah, I mean, we could, I don't know. It's a question, do we want to, I'm busy with other projects, so I don't know if we can return to this and update it. And obviously there's things you'd like to change and based on feedback and your own perceptions. So it remains to be seen. We're open to developing it.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.